The man has to be Superman all the time. The man should not be affected by emotions. He should not shed tears. If your kids are getting scared, your wife is getting scared, you are supposed to man up and say, "Ki boss, don't worry, I am here." Which is fine because that's what a man is supposed to be. He is the man of the house. But it does take a toll on men. It takes a toll on me. Be unnecessarily pretending that I am strong and nothing happens to me. Everything happens to me. At 26, I became a father. I was totally in love with my baby when he was born. Totally. I didn't even know what hit me. I held him in my hand and I said, "My God, yeah, this is mine." It is very important for every child to know that the father, he goes through the maximum. I pushed him. I said, "Beta, you must. You need to experience the life outside." And it was going to be in Lucknow for a month. And I cried, yeah. I was like, as a parent, my wife and I were crying for so many days, yeah. Every day we were crying, missing him. I've done everything for both my boys, actually. From changing their nappies, making them wear diaper. I've fed them, made them sleep, made them burp. I've done all of that. So I had that instinct always in me.
I'm also watching and studying how masculinity, the definition of masculinity is changing over the years, right? In the 80s, 90s to now. It's a breath of fresh air to hear your story of how you embraced fatherhood, how it was emotions. But a lot of dads struggle with that emotional connection with children.
You as a father should do as much as possible while they're still small. Because when they grow up, they're anyway going to grow up, become conscious of a lot of things. So you spend as much time as you can while they're still growing up. I think we all should understand that we're all human beings. We can get scared, we can be frightened, we can be traumatized, panic attack, or we can have anxiety, we face fear. It's not about these things not affecting a man. All these things equally affect a man.
Sudhanshu, welcome to DadSense.
Thank you so much, Subhashish. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely looking forward to our chat today. There's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
Our focus is obviously fatherhood, as you and I talked, but it has so many different branches to cover, right? Because we have the evolution of fatherhood from previous generation to this generation, then the role of dads in today's society and times. So a lot to cover, but I'm really excited.
Same here. In fact, honestly, this is the first time I'm coming on a podcast to discuss something different from what I've been mostly called for.
Right.
It's either
which is for your profession.
Yeah, professional or no. I do speak about a lot about mental health and spirituality.
Yeah.
And a lot on religion and a lot of these other relevant topics, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes, this is something very, very different from what I've done till now. So I'm looking forward.
I'm glad. And speaking of mental health, spirituality, they're all intertwined, interconnected, right? All plays into who we are as dads. So we'll talk about that as well. But let's start with a curiosity question. You have your son's names tattooed on you.
Yeah.
What was the story behind that?
So I think
you have two sons, right?
I have two boys, yeah.
Right.
And I think both Mona, my wife, and I had decided that together. First, she thought that she will get both the names tattooed, and I think I got excited too.
Right.
So we decided to do it together, and we went and we got the tattoos done. And it's not just a tattoo. It's not just a name. I don't think I can show it to you here, but
yeah, I can see.
Yeah, so there is a symbol. This is the older one, Nirvan.
Yeah.
And it's got a trident with a damru.
Got it. Which is a symbol of Shiva, right?
Shiva.
Yeah.
Right. So Nirvan is moksha. Nirvan is
Nirvana.
Moksha.
Right.
Ultimate peace, or whatever you may want to call it. And that's what he symbolizes, right? Shiv. So,
correct.
Which is why the Trishul and the Damru.
That's amazing.
And on the right hand side, I've got Vivan written here, and there is a peacock feather with it. So Vivan is one of the 108 names of Lord Krishna.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It sounds very English, but it's
right.
actually
deeply
a
Indian
name
and
of
Sanskrit.
Sri Krishna. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So therefore the peacock feather, because that is directly related to Lord Krishna, because he used to wear it. And so we thought that we'll do this and have it on us forever, because I mean they're your kids.
Yeah.
I mean they're part of you. So
That's right.
they've come from you, and it'll go with you. You know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And how old were they when you got this done?
I think they were still very small.
Got it.
They were still very small.
And curious, what do they think about this? Do they think it's cool, or they're like,
No, I think they were very curious, you know, initially, but my older one obviously could understand a little more, because he's the difference between the two is 7 years, so
oh yeah,
the older one could understand it better, and obviously they've grown up seeing this now, so it's
All the
like
time.
it's like for them it's a given.
it's part
you
of
know,
who you
it's
are,
there,
right?
Yeah.
Right. That's lovely. But let's track back to your childhood. I know you grew up in the hills.
Yeah.
Right? And you went to an army school. What was the story behind you wanting to go to the army school, and how was growing up with that kind of a, I'm guessing it was a lot of discipline, just, you know, as much as I understand. How did that shape you as who you ended up becoming as an adult?
See, I personally feel that you shape up in the first, say, 5 to 10 years of your life.
Right. I agree
Your
with you.
main foundation is laid during those years. And I'm not just talking for myself, I'm also talking for most of the people who have been born and brought up in a very typical middle class family, right? So we are normally in a household where we're very close knit, you know. And from the time we were born, there were
Yeah.
still a lot of joint families.
That's
you know.
right. I
And,
grew up in a joint
There was no
family too.
concept of nuclear families.
Right.
So we had everything very compartmentalized. Like we used to live in Nainital or wherever my father was, posted, and we used to live there. And every 6 months we would go to our parental house, which was in Gorakhpur.
Got it.
And in Gorakhpur, we used to have the parental house was a huge house, like about 28, 30 rooms, and we used to have
Like a big ancestral home,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
which my grandfather had built actually
Right.
during his job tenure, and he was also in railway. My father was also in railway.
Got it.
My maternal grandfather was also in railway.
Wow.
Not in Gorakhpur though, but they were both in railway. And that's how my parents also met, because they were, both my grandfathers were posted in one place where they met, and obviously things, the spark
Evolved from
happened
there.
there. Yeah.
Right.
So we used to go to Gorakhpur every 6 months. And in Gorakhpur, my father's brothers, sisters, their kids, we used to all come
Right.
and be there together, for so many days. And it used to be extraordinary because we never needed any friends.
Right.
We never needed anybody else. It was just there, we used to have an extraordinary time. There were cows at home.
Yeah.
There was milk being, taken out
Yeah.
every morning, evening, and we are consuming that.
Right.
There were vegetables grown there. We had every sort of fruit growing within the premise. Everything was so beautiful, real, organic, and
natural.
simple,
Yeah.
right? My dadi used to achar dalte na.
Huh.
So she used to make achar.
And there must be a big courtyard, right?
Big terrace
Right. Terrace. Yeah.
of that house.
Yeah, I'm just
huge.
picturing, right?
Yeah. And वो जो बड़े बड़े मर्तबान आते थे, कांच के बने होते थे वो, उसमें अचार डालती थी मेरी दादी.
उसको बाहर रखना पड़ता था ना?
टेरेस पे रखा जाता था
Correct.
धूप में,
Correct.
तो वो फर्मेंट होते थे.
Correct.
सो दे यूज्ड टू बी मिर्च का अचार, आम का अचार,
Oh, lovely.
गाजर का अचार,
Yeah.
nimbu ka achar, karonde ka achar, everything that you can
Getting
imagine.
nostalgic now.
Right there. And everything homemade, everything real, natural. The so-called organic that we give so much of attention to today
Right.
was just another thing.
Yeah.
Those days, I mean, everything was organic. We
Yeah,
were
you didn't think otherwise. That was the
there was nothing
default.
artificial, right?
Right.
So for us, what used to be more surprising was when we saw anything artificial.
Correct.
Right? Anything that was branded,
Anything that was packaged.
Yeah, and it looked like an imported product.
Right.
It used to really get our attention, अरे यार ये तो imported लग रहा है,
जैसे मैगी आया था पहले.
हाँ मैगी आया और बहुत सारी चीज़ें थी यार. I mean, even the toothpastes.
Yes.
I mean, we grew up on foreigns. Foreigns का toothpaste आता था.
Correct. Forensics. Yeah.
You know?
I remember that.
वीको का वो हल्दी वाला टर्मरिक वाला आता था. कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें आती थी. लौंग का या किसी चीज़ का आता था. टर्मरिक तो फेस के लिए आता था. बट सो वी ग्रोन अप इन दैट एटमॉस्फेयर
Yep.
where there was so much of simplicity, there was so much of real life, existent around us.
Yep.
So that laid the foundation for us, right? Which is why I feel that people like us are saved in a world like now that we are living in. I think it is because the roots were so strong that somebody like me has been able to survive through all the ups and downs,
yeah.
in the industry, and it has kept me rooted. I've always known where I come from, what my strength is, what my reality
it's
is.
funny you say that. I totally can relate to that. I've obviously followed a different career in the corporate world. But जैसे आपने बताया, the ancestral home. So my ancestral home is in Orissa, in a small town called Titlagarh. And every time I have something shaken in my life, I imaginarily
Go there.
lean on that foundation.
Because
There's some kind of an umbilical cord जैसे रहता है ना.
yeah.
You know कि जो भी हो जाएगा एक anchor
Your
है.
spirit is connected.
Correct.
Right? Your
Yeah.
spirit is connected with that.
Right. So
Right?
I relate to that.
And what happens is all those times that we've lived and grown up with has unknowingly taught us how to value family, the relationships.
Relationships, yes.
Right? What importance family holds for us, right? A home holds for us, right? The values that were instilled unknowingly. It's not like somebody came and told us ki ye karo.
Yeah, they were giving you a playbook of this is
It
how
was
life
just the
is.
atmosphere. That is why I always say that even when people see my kids, both my boys, by God's grace, they've been brought up well.
Right.
They're very respectful.
They're grounded.
They're grounded. They're very respectful. Their values are intact, and
I love that.
yeah. And when people ask me how to do this, so I always tell them that it is not about how you are going to make your child be like that. You can never do that.
Right.
You can never tell a child, do this, do that. This will make you a good boy, that will make you a good boy. No. You will always need to understand that there is an atmosphere that has to be created around them. For them to be absorbed in that atmosphere. And when that atmosphere is good, the way you want your children to be in the future, you provide them that atmosphere where they're growing up, and they will automatically turn out to be good people when they grow up. It's the atmosphere that makes you what you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like growing a plant, right?
Exactly.
It needs the right atmosphere,
it
environment.
needs the right surroundings,
Yes.
you know. You don't go and tell a small plant कि बेटा अच्छा
ऐसे
अच्छे
बढ़ना
से बड़े हो,
ऐसे बढ़ना
सीधे रहना और हरे रहना.
correct
You know, you feed the right things.
right
You just the plant is still there.
Yeah.
It's there. You just keep putting stuff
keep
there,
nurturing, yeah.
and it grows beautifully.
yeah
That is exactly what you need to do with a child.
that's beautiful. Now going back to your army school, like what did we'll come back to some of that creating that environment stuff because
Yeah,
I'm definitely
yeah.
curious, but I'm still kind of focused on your childhood. What do you remember you taking away from those days? Like you talked about your home and how it influenced you, the groundedness, the anchor, the stability in your mind and heart. What did that background teach you? Because it's very,
The school.
yeah, the school and that growing up, moving on to an volatile roller coaster ride like entertainment, which is very opposite to what army environment is. I'm just trying to connect the dots,
Yeah. I think the core for living a good life, I feel, is only one: discipline, which is what I get from the army school, right? Not that I was a very, very good, disciplined child.
Right.
I was naughty, I was naughty like every child should be, or
Yeah.
every young boy should be.
Do you have siblings?
I have my older one, but he was like a guy. बहुत सीधा था मेरा भाई.
Right.
हाँ.
वो पहले बच्चे वैसे रहते हैं,
हाँ,
सीधे रहते
पहले
हैं.
बच्चे सीधे रहते हैं, हाँ, दूसरे थोड़े बदमाश हो जाते हैं.
Correct.
So I was always a little naughty. I'm taking the liberty of saying little because nobody is around to tell me that he's lying. But
It's debatable.
I'm sure it is more than debatable for a lot of people. But I think what happens, like I said, the atmosphere. Where you are, everything is discipline here, right, around you. So it's being absorbed somewhere.
Yep.
You may be naughty or whatever,
Sure.
but it is there in subconscious, it is being fed.
Sure.
So I think the core of being successful as a human being, as a professional, be it any profession, is discipline. You've got to be a disciplined human being to succeed anywhere, any time of your life, even when you are not going through good times
Right.
or a good phase.
I was curious
it
about
is
that.
your discipline that is going to get you through, right? Because if you give up, right? If you give up, then you give up. तब आदमी बिखर जाता है.
Yeah.
आपने अगर गिव अप कर दिया तो आप बिखर जाएंगे.
Yeah.
आप मानसिक रूप से बिखर जाएंगे, शारीरिक रूप से बिखर जाएंगे.
Yeah.
लेकिन अगर आप डिसिप्लिन हैं तो डिसिप्लिन जो है वो आपको बिखरने नहीं देता है. इट कीप्स यू टुगेदर एंड इट कीप्स यू स्ट्रांग. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेन योर टाइम चेंजेस अगेन एंड योर गुड टाइम स्टार्ट्स, यू आर इन द बेस्ट शेप पॉसिबल, mentally, physically, spiritually, every which way. So the core of everything is discipline, and that is exactly what I took from my childhood at that time.
Thank you. Which I'm sure kept you in that sort of state during the downtime than the uptime, right?
Always,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Now your career, I was obviously researching about your career. It's fascinating to say the least. There's acting, there's modeling, right? There's acting.
Started as a model, yeah.
Then you were part of the first boy band in India,
Yeah.
which is incredible.
Yeah.
And then you got into acting. So, but starting with you moving from the mountains, taking a decision to pursue modeling, how did your parents react to that? What did that look like, your conversation? And, clearly your parents were incredibly supportive. I'm just curious to know.
It was actually, strangely, my parents didn't even question it.
So you decided to do modeling, yeah?
Yeah, no, I didn't decide to do anything at all. I mean, I was clueless that time,
Right.
because I was still transitioning between Forge and some, maybe another profession. uh, still undecided, and I mean, I've narrated this story many times. There was some, we used to sit in Nainital, so my brother and I used to sit in the morning sun outside,
Right.
you know,
Which is lovely.
sitting in the sun, basking in the sun, and reading newspapers and everything. So we would read newspapers, and I used to love reading the magazines जो आती थी,
Right.
उसमें जो newspaper की magazine होती. So, and they used to carry those ads, various ads of employments and this and that. And one of those things carried one ad for some modeling thing.
Acha.
And it said that, the models required for a Bombay-based magazine, but number और एड्रेस दिल्ली का था उसमें. तो हमने कहा चलो फ़ोन करके देखते हैं.
Right.
मैंने भाई से बोला, तो भाई बोला हाँ कॉल
करो.
अब उस ज़माने में we used to have phone which
Yeah.
had
तो घुमा के डायल करना पड़ता था.
and because it was an official phone, so my father used to keep a lock on it.
Wow. You're reminding me of a lot of things that I'd forgotten.
Yeah. So I asked for the key, and we opened, and then we dialed the number, and this gentleman picked up from there. So I asked him, I said, I saw this ad, and how do I go about it?
And how old were you, if I may
I
ask?
was, I think, 18 or 19.
Got it.
Yeah, barely.
Right.
So he said, you will have to come to Delhi. I can't tell you if you can model or not. And I have to see you and your face. Whether you're worth it or not, then I will click your portfolio. I said, okay, fine. So I came, discussed with my parents, and my father readily agreed to take me to Delhi.
No way.
Yeah. So
That's
it was
amazing.
that's why I feel that it was meant to happen. So he took me to Delhi.
He literally didn't like.
They didn't have an issue, strangely.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
And my parents have always been they're very simple people.
right.
So my father took me there, and we went to this gentleman's office, and he saw me, and he was like, wow, let's do your portfolio. So, and I used
He's
to
a good-looking lad.
Yeah, and I used to have like really curly hair, like
Got it.
Zakir Hussain type,
Right.
that kind of curly hair, and I remember going to his office wearing a Pathan suit,
Acha.
for God's sake. So, because my mother used to love me in Pathan suits, so
Got it.
she got me.
तुम ये पहन के जाओ.
Yeah,
Right.
ये पहन के जाओ. So we went there, and he saw me, and then he said, so from there this whole thing started. He clicked my portfolio, and I had given it to Lintas and HTA and all those agencies.
So it turned out to be a legit agency, and they would actually.
Legit photographer.
Yeah.
And then he guided me to go to these agencies. And I think in 15-20 days, I got a call from him. He said, "Arey, pagal, congratulations." तो मैंने बोला, "Thank you, क्या हुआ?" तो he said कि you've got तुझे एक shootings campaign मिल गया है. And he said, भीलवाड़ा shootings का campaign मिला है, तो जल्दी से आजा फटाफट दिल्ली. तो then I went to Delhi again.
Got it.
And I went to his place, and he said कि तू Lintas जा, you have a meeting there, you go there, and whatever budget they say you are okay with it. I said, okay, fine. So I went there. And so the creative head of Lintas met me, and he told me that we've selected you for our campaign for Bhilwara shootings, and it's going to be a 2-year contract. And
That's
he said,
incredible.
our budget is not that great, but we'll give you 25,000. So I had to gulp my saliva.
Right.
I said, ये तो मेरे पिताजी की भी सैलरी नहीं थी यार.
You just had to pretend that you were in control.
So I was like, I had to really hold myself, and I took a pause, and I said, it's okay, sir. It's my first campaign.
Right.
So I'm okay with it. I'll do it, no problem. So that's where my career took
Got it.
off, and
Incredible.
that ad was like very big,
Got
very
it.
well. They were sort of relaunching Bhilwara shootings with this, and
Yeah, I
They
definitely have
spent
seen those
a
ads.
lot of money they spent. I shot with Ashok Selian, who was the biggest, who was the legend,
Yeah,
uh, and the ad film was directed by Sham Ramana,
Right.
Raja Ramana's son,
Right.
the scientist Raja Ramana,
Yep.
his son. He pioneered that CG in India
got it.
with that Kawasaki था ना वो cheetah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he
that's
did
the
that.
ad.
Got it.
तो हम लोग देखते थे ना when we were
Right,
small.
right. Yeah.
So he made that. So I got to work with the number ones in the industry.
best,
with
yeah.
the first ad.
Yeah.
It released as a center spread in Time magazine. So तो मेरे रिश्तेदारों में लंदन तक हल्ला मच गया था because they saw Time magazine के center spread में अपना लड़का तो सब हिल गए थे बोले अरे
Right.
बाप रे. So
So
we
that
were-
was the sort of starting of your
yeah,
career.
so that is where I took off, and then
Got it. Now, you moved to Bombay and you married pretty young, right?
22, yeah,
22. And then you had your first son pretty young too, I'm guessing.
26, yeah.
And at the time, if I got it right, you're still sort of, on your way to making it.
Yeah, of
Right.
course, of course, of course.
So I'm curious to know, how did fatherhood sit with you while you were trying to kind of make all this work in Bombay? And what do you remember of being a dad to to Nirvan? And if you can share.
See, it is for me. I would say I have been blessed with a mind that has never done too much of analysis of things, because that's where things get corrupted.
Right.
I was always my mind was very pure in terms of thoughts. When I married because I wanted to.
So you have this clarity in you.
I had clarity.
Right.
Not thinking कि अरे मैं ये करूँगा तो ऐसा होगा तो
right.
वैसा होगा तो because that is where the doubts come in,
Yep.
and then your thoughts get, the entire thing is
It's
corrupted.
diluted,
There is no purity left. So I got married and I shifted here, to Bombay. In 97 January I came here. And it's going to be 29 years now.
That's incredible.
So it's
Yeah,
a
I was
long
thinking
time.
it's almost 30
And
years.
then so it's almost 3 decades, man. It's a long time.
That's incredible.
And then at 26, I became a father.
Wow.
Nirvan was born, and I was totally in love with my baby when he was born,
Right.
Totally. I didn't even know what hit me, I held him in my hand the first time and I saw he was frowning like that, wrapped in a
Right.
sheet.
Swaddle, yeah.
And I said, my God, yeah, this is mine.
This is the best.
I couldn't believe it. It was such a beautiful feeling. So I never had any other feeling than the purest thought of becoming a father, being a father, and knowing that this is a part of me and this is, for eternity and all of that. So I had those beautiful feelings. I never mixed those feelings with what I was going through in my career or my work. These two have been always separate things. I've never let anything have any sort of influence on each other. I guess which
And
is
you
why
had that clarity as well?
always.
I'll tell you, that's not very common.
It is not.
Particularly like my own self. I definitely, when I remember when I became a dad, and I became a dad pretty late, 37, when I was in the US. And it completely knocked me out of my work stuff, right? I got so overwhelmed, and I'm being very honest. Because like you said, this thing, like this little one in front of you, is like this is mine, and I have this now. And of course, we didn't have any family or anything in the US, so me and my wife had to do
everything
I'm guessing you were in the same.
We've done the same.
Same place, right?
We've done the same.
And I took my eyes off the work, honestly. And I didn't know how to reconcile these two things. But that's mine. So the point I was making is it's amazing that you had.
Yeah, I had that clarity. Plus, I did whatever I could. I took that time off to totally immerse myself into that, atmosphere and the new life that had started. I've done everything for both my boys actually, from changing their nappies to cleaning their potty, susu, making them wear diaper, making them wear langot.
You've done everything?
I've done everything. I've fed them. I've made them sleep, made them burp. I've done all of that. And I used to be phenomenal at that. So I had that instinct always in me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
तो मैं अपने आप को किसी भी रूप में माँ से कम नहीं मानता हूँ in terms of what I have, what I could do for my children. I've done everything.
How did this come, Sudhanshu? I mean, I'm very curious, really intrigued now, because the generation of dads that we grew up with, right? Again, I don't know your dad, because dads were providers, right? They were out. Moms took care of, at least in my generation, it was my mom who took care of everything. I don't think my dad did much. I mean, he was a great man, but in terms of, like you said, na मैंने सब कुछ किया है बच्चों के लिए, didn't do anything. So where did this come from? Was this all natural for you?
I think this has got to be natural because I've always been very. I've always felt very close to my
Babies.
I'm very, very emotional. I think I'm deeply emotional. That is where mostly where it comes from.
I relate to that, yeah.
So, because of that sort of attachment and emotion, I've done everything without even, thinking, So there was nothing, there was no filter actually. There was nothing. I was just, it's like, ये मेरा ही काम है, मैं मेरा ही है, तो मुझे करना है. And I enjoyed doing it, I enjoyed
that's the most
cleaning
important
their
thing.
bums, wiping their susu,
Putting a new diaper on.
Removing the old diaper जब भर जाता था susu से, so I used to take it off, Or if they had done potty in the diaper, taking that off and then cleaning their bum and then making them wear, putting powder and cream, and I've done all
so
of
that
that.
they don't get rash.
Yeah,
right.
I've done all of that, and I used to feed them and doing all of that. I've done everything. I used to love it. That was, for me, I think it was those were the most beautiful times, most beautiful moments with my kids. अभी थोड़ी वो possible है.
I think the bonding जो उस time में होता है, doing these things, and I talk about this a lot with my other guests, is the one that creates that lifelong bond with the kids, right? Between the kids and the dads.
Yeah.
Because you really are engaging in a very, very intimate, physical ways.
It's very deeply rooted, actually.
Right.
Very deeply rooted.
Yeah, that's lovely. This is so powerful, Sudhanshu. You have no idea, because I know there are a lot of dads I talk to. They all want to do this, most of them, but somehow जो role का जो definition, persona जो है, dads struggle a lot, and should I be doing this, or sometimes the moms are doing all of this, dads are waiting on the fence. So what you just share now is really powerful. And a strong message for a lot of dads who are wondering कि मैं ये role कैसे करूँ? How do I play this role?
I personally feel that you as a father should do as much as possible while they are still small.
Young, yep.
Because when they grow up, they are anyway going to grow up, become conscious of a lot of things. The child is always closer to the mother because the mother is there with them 24/7. That is going to happen anyway, right? So you spend as much time as you can while they're still growing up.
Yep.
Right?
Because I think a lot of times it's the other way around, right? जो बच्चे छोटे होते हैं, usually dads and moms, they're all in that stage of wanting to make it in the career. There's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of forces
Yeah,
acting
yeah.
on you,
Yeah, yeah.
in spite of all your wants.
No, it is a choice you make.
Exactly.
You know, it is a choice you make. It is
Right.
not about so much pressure. Pressure तो हमेशा रहता है.
So you made those choices.
I made that choice. It was my choice to do that, and choice out of pure love and emotion.
Right.
Right.
Not as a duty. or
Not as a
anything.
duty.
Yeah.
You know, it was not something that I took upon my ego or something like that. It was just very natural for me to do that because I wanted to do it, because that was coming straight from the soul, you know, that I wanted to do it. And you have to make that choice, you know. I see, even in my building, the society that I live in, I see small babies. If there are 100 kids, I would see 95 kids with the maids and the servants.
Oh my God! It's funny
There's
you mentioned
hardly
that.
any parent there, you know.
I know. It's
So
funny. I'm
it's a-
reacting
yeah,
because
it's a-
when I drive to my community,
Yeah.
in the play, the play area comes when I drive in. This is exactly what I notice.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing, and I feel very sad because I see the child hugging the maids. You know, if they're like getting scared or something, they'll go and hug the maid.
Correct. Because that's who they have.
And that's who they have. And it's strange that the parents don't realize this. That, you know, your child, you are missing out, your child is missing out on the only phase that you have in this entire lifetime.
Right.
And you're just letting it go, you know. For
Yep.
what? For
Yep.
what? I mean, because you're just busy somewhere. I think it's ridiculous, yeah. I think every parent should, which is why the kids are, you know, going all over the place these days, you know.
Yeah.
They lose direction. They tend to lose direction very, very fast in their lives. They don't find stability in their lives.
Yeah.
They find escapes without realizing into all these social media platforms and this and that, and then they start depending on that, and they're
For validation.
yeah, and for validation and for their sometimes emotional support and
Yeah.
all of that. They're you're making them fall into the darkest hole possible. you know,
Yeah.
From where they might not recover. You
Yeah.
know. So it's a very dangerous scenario. It's a very sad scenario.
It's really powerful. I so relate this to you, and me and my wife talk about this all the time. You know, we notice this, and I made that same conscious choice. I was telling you when I moved back to India. I mean, I was very clear. I remember one day I was so my wife was away, and you know, babies take naps, right? But somehow, I think that day, a few days, my wife was out. So it was like 2 in the afternoon. So I was having lunch, and I told my colleague that I have to go home to put my baby to nap. And he had this shock in his eyes, like, "What? You're going to go home to put your baby to nap?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what you have to do.
Who else will? You should
Yeah.
ask him.
So, I mean, I so relate to what you're saying, and it resonates a lot with me. But more importantly, I'm pretty sure that this is a great message for all our audiences of how precious those years are as a dad when you're raising young children. Now, just to put some practical context to that, right, so that we can make it some real takeaways from this conversation. How did your days look like? I know your profession must have been very demanding. You were trying to, make it as an actor, and I don't know what stage you were there, but I'm pretty sure it was demanding. So when you say I made choices, what I know it's quite some time back now. If you can jog your memory, how did you design your day? What trade-offs did you make to balance this both worlds?
I think initially it was there was I don't think I remember not taking up work during that time
Got it.
because this was a big thing
Yep.
and wanted to spend all the time
Yep.
at home. with the baby. Um, I didn't want to have this out of sight at all, you know. So I wanted equal participation in everything.
Right.
So I did take some time off.
Got it.
I remember when my second one was born. On the day he was born, I was in the hospital, and I had to fly down to Qatar for an event. So I was there for, I think I went for about 2.5 days. I had to go there as soon as he was born. I still regret it that I had to go there because
Yeah.
I had committed for the event.
Right.
And but obviously he was born, and after that I left, and I always made sure that I am there.
You were
around.
present.
Yeah, always. So there was no other agenda basically in my life, and I think the biggest advantage I had was that I was still very young when I had, especially Nirvana. I was only 26.
Right.
At 26, kids are still, today kids are still wondering what to do
Right.
in their lives,
They're still figuring out what they want to do with their lives.
Yeah.
And you were a dad.
And I was a father at
Right.
that age. So that was an advantage for me because I think I could do everything without thinking too much into problems or that
Right.
can be, or so I just did it like it was in front of me. I just went on with it.
Yep.
I went along with it, and I think sometime later I started picking up work, and then I got back to work, and I continued doing my work. And there was a time when I was traveling to London. I had bought a new house in 2005, and spent a lot of money on that, so I had to really do a lot of films left, right and center.
Right.
And I was in
We all do that.
shooting in London. And London, because there was family also, so I told Mona to fly down to London. So she came with Nirvan to London. Nirvan was still this much.
Right.
So wherever I could do that, I did that.
could do that, yep.
And so, yeah, so that's how I managed. I think I managed pretty well.
And all along, you made sure you were present for the big occasions, big events in
Always
school.
Always. Always done that. As a rule, we have at home, okay, on birthdays and, Diwalis and Holis, festivals and special days, we are always together.
That's lovely.
And I would say that my wife has to be credited a lot for that, because she's also instilled those things in their head that,
We all have to be together.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because when you are working so much, non-stop, obviously they're spending so much more time with the mother, so they're close and they listen to the mother also
Right.
a lot more, because she's feeding them also. No? So that way I think a lot of credit goes to her also.
Sure, of course.
So
It's
both-
a teamwork.
it's a teamwork. So
Yeah.
both the boys are also very particular about this, that if it's a birthday, we all have to be there. And even if I tend to forget, they will correct me, and they'll make sure that I know and I remember that this is the day we have to be
You
there
have to be there,
together.
yeah.
Yebu.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that way it is all sorted.
That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing. I'm really echoing your sentiments, and great to hear how you approach parenting. Flipping to your work side a little bit, right? Because I think we all agree that it influences one side, influences the other, right? Particularly the choices of work that you do. After you became a dad, the roles that you played, I'm sure, because you're an actor, right? Like you are, basically you are giving yourself to the character. And you're leaving, I'm guessing, you're leaving who you are in real life because you are serving the character. Was there ever a situation, or were there ever a sort of conscious choice that, hey, now I'm a dad now, and these characters that I'm about to play are creating a bit of a discord in my head, अंदर disconnect हो रहा है. Have you, did you feel like your choices were changing as your kids were growing up, or how did that influence your work? That's the point I'm trying to get.
No, the only influence was that I was so emotionally connected to my kids that if I were to go on an outdoor,
Yeah,
my heart would sink. That is the only difference it made.
got it.
Not as an actor.
Okay.
Because I think I'm one of those actors who's not. I'm very. I'm a sucker for good roles, for good characters.
Right.
Anything that is challenging, anything that is something nobody's seen, or create something from that character that nobody is expecting,
Right.
right?
So
Because-
interpret the character.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
because otherwise, what is the point of me being an actor if I can't give it a new perspective
Yeah.
and excite the audiences and make them think about how good this character is, even if it is bad,
Right.
right? Which is what happened with
Yeah.
one of my shows, that Anupama.
Anupama,
where
yeah.
I was playing. I don't call it a villain because he was not.
And this character that you're playing in Anupama was a dad too, right?
Was a dad too, and he was a very good dad actually.
But he was a great sort of. His character was great.
So he was very human,
Right.
like we all are.
Right.
Right. We're all grey.
We're not black and white.
We are not black and white. We are
Yeah.
all grey people. We all fight our demons. We all give in to the demons sometimes. Sometimes we fight back. The character that was given to me was somebody who was having an affair with another woman, in spite of being married, which made him a grey character in the so-called definition of a good guy and a bad guy.
Sure, the social construct.
Yeah, the social construct.
Yeah.
And also in people's mind,
Yeah.
where people want to idolize something or someone,
Right.
which may not be realistic at all.
Sure.
Right? And even in their own real lives, they are not like that, but they want to idolize and they feel, "Arey yaar, what a good guy, what a good guy." That is why they all run away from the reality. The reality is something that we all run away from, or
Right.
we tend to at least,
Yep.
whereas we should accept the realities. So I tried to play that character in such a way that it becomes so unavoidable in terms of. So people used to love the character and hate it equally, And I created a few things, in terms of his mannerisms, his behavior, throughout, that people would just say, "My God, yaar, ye kaise haath mein,"
क्यों कर रहे हो?
So, so I used to get millions of messages, millions, for क्यों कर रहे हो आप ऐसा? So many things.
What's an example
And
of that?
they would also say that you are so good
Right.
that we don't know whether we love you or hate you.
Right. That's
So
when
I
you know
used-
that
I used
you're
to-
doing
yeah,
a good
so I used
job.
to like it, and that
Right.
hatred was very important because
Right.
they should, and they must, because if they don't, I'll be worried that
Right.
I'm doing something
Then you're
wrong.
not doing a good job of
Not
playing
doing a
that
good job,
character.
yeah. So I always said that I'm happy that I'm getting, because it's a form of love that is
Right.
coming, right? And then then they showed death of one of the sons, the younger one, and then there was a leap. So I changed the character a little bit after that, because as
And you had the liberty to do that.
I always had, and they also understood because of my seniority and
Sure.
everything. So they knew that I've given so much to this character. Whatever I give
Yeah.
will be something interesting. So I told them that I want to remove the moustache now. So I removed the moustache, and from that angry and all that, I changed it to a little smiley one.
After the child's death?
Yeah. Because I explained to them, the director, the producer, and the writers and everything. I said, see, you must understand, if something like that happens in anybody's life, it is going to alter the person completely.
Right.
Something will,
Something fundamentally will shift.
something will shift,
Yeah.
or switch off, or switch.
Yeah.
Something will happen. It will not be the same again.
Very
Right?
true.
It can
Very
never
true.
be the same
Yeah.
again. So I want to be a little different, and so I did that, and I became a little smiley, and it made it more lethal after that.
Smiley, yeah, it's like it's
He used to have a
it's
smile in his eyes, and he
contrasting,
would
right?
break into songs.
Right.
Whenever he would see Anupama with that other guy, would suddenly start breaking into song, break into a laughter.
Because he was trying to cope with the loss and then trying to act in ways.
And also hating the fact that
Understood.
she's, it, in spite of the child gone, and all those things.
Right. That's
So
fascinating.
there's so much that would go on in a person's mind,
Yeah.
and he would react
Yeah.
very differently, become a very different person. So I tried to give it
Right.
a very different edge all
Got
the
it.
time. So, I like playing characters. I'm
Right.
not like typically. So nothing. It's got nothing to do with my personal life,
Your role as a dad,
right?
yeah.
I switch in and out of characters.
I also heard that you, if I may interrupt, that it took a toll on you, right?
Yeah,
That playing this character.
yeah, a lot of times.
And how did that show up, affect you, who you were as a human being?
I used to get very exhausted actually.
Mm.
A lot of scenes where there were emotional breakdowns, and I'm somebody who goes very deep into it, because my instincts are like that. My
Right.
instincts are very strong, and I'm a profound thinker anyway.
Right.
So. It would take a toll without realizing that I used to get a lot of aches and pains, in my back, my neck, and everything.
Wow.
Without realizing that it's all that.
Did your family notice?
Yeah. I mean, I used to sometimes speak about it. कि यार थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया, So that is how it was, and I did my bit, whatever I could, and the character did really. It became an iconic character, obviously.
Right. Yeah, for sure. How did you cope with all this toll, and how did you keep your balance and your sanity as a dad, as a husband? Do you feel like you could still keep it separate, or you'd kind of bled into?
No, I always kept it separate. I mean, I never let
great.
it come home, for sure, because the only thing that I came home with was fatigue,
Right. Right.
So that was natural, and
And the kids were sort of a little bit older by now?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This was just,
grown
yeah.
up, yeah.
So you didn't have so much demand?
No.
Right.
Not much to worry about there, and
Right.
and also I think when you're working, it keeps you going,
Sure.
right?
Agreed.
So you're in a good shape
Yeah.
overall,
Yeah.
when you're going for work, you're making money, all of that is happening. So it's just a good state to be in.
Right.
So you tend to ignore a little bit of trouble and trauma.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a part of your job.
Yeah. Particularly when you love what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I love what I do.
Right.
I'm like that's.
I can tell.
I'm so obsessed with my profession.
Right. It's talking about these roles and characters. I'm also watching and studying how masculinity, the definition of masculinity, is changing over the years, right? In the 80s, 90s to now. It's a breath of fresh air to hear your story of how you embraced fatherhood, how it was emotions. But, a lot of dads struggle with that emotional connection with children, particularly because of social conditioning,
Yeah.
right? We are not raised and taught to be emotive as men, boys.
Yeah.
That's the domain of women. In the most traditional, I know it's all blurring now. So I'm also studying in this whole aspect of parenting and fatherhood. How does masculinity play into that, right? The definition of who a man is. And in fact, I was talking to Rohit about that as well, a little bit. So how do you see that evolving? Of course, you have your own norm, but how do you, to men who are trying to live up to the idea of the ideal man, right? And at the same time, they need to emotionally connect with their children and be vulnerable with their children, because that's very real emotions. What would you say to that dilemma, if you will? Does that make sense, or it was too confusing?
No, it makes complete sense. I think most of us, and it's not just men. I think even women expect the men to be like that.
Interesting.
They expect a man to be. तुम कैसे रो सकते हो?
Right.
You know, the man has to be a Superman all the time,
Right.
right? The man should not be affected by emotions. He should not get emotional. He should not shed tears. This is not just expected by men themselves, also expected by the women in their lives, which becomes a double jeopardy,
Burden.
I would say.
Yeah.
You know, it's a double jeopardy. Because then you are thinking कि यार मैं अगर रोऊंगा तो ये क्या सोचेगी, या मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड क्या सोचेगी, या मेरी बीवी क्या सोचेगी.
Yeah.
You know, आदमी हमेशा अपनी माँ के आगे आंसू बहाता था.
Correct.
माँ के आगे आंसू बहाने में,
माँ के सामने रोने में
कोई इनहिबिशन नहीं
कोई
था.
हर्ज नहीं है.
बट किसी भी और औरत के सामने आंसू बहाने में आदमी को लगता था नहीं यार ये आई कांट, मैं तो मर्द हूँ. आई थिंक वी ऑल शुड अंडरस्टैंड दैट men are human beings. Yeah. We're all human beings. We can get scared, we can be frightened, we can be traumatized, we can have a panic attack, or we can have anxiety, we face fear, you know. It's not about these things not affecting a man. All these things equally affect a man.
Right.
It's just that a man has always reacted differently to these things. A man has to keep his calm, his control. He has to control his tears. If the situation is bad, or if there's something that is going wrong, if your kids are getting scared, your wife is getting scared, you are supposed to man up and say, "Ki boss, don't worry, I am here."
Yep.
Which is fine, because that's what a man is
Right.
supposed to be. You know, he is the man of the house. And so that's how it's supposed to be. But it does take a toll on men.
Right. That's where my curiosity
it does
is.
take a toll on men. It takes a toll on me. So many times it has taken a toll on me. So, fortunately, I have slowly decided to not
Be that Superman.
be unnecessarily pretending
Right.
that I am strong and nothing happens to me. Everything happens to me.
When did you? How did that change happen to you?
It just happened over time. I think it was, and I felt that, before my kids, they start believing that पापा को कुछ नहीं होता है. It doesn't matter. It's only the mother who can cry. It's only the mother who can be disturbed. It is only the mother who will face all the hardships. The father is living in his bubble that he is the man, so he
Right.
shouldn't.
कुछ नहीं होगा.
तो बच्चों को तो पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि
Right.
बाप के ऊपर भी कुछ गुजरती है.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Which I think is a wrong precedence to set.
Exactly.
It's a wrong precedence to set. It is very important for every child to know that the father
Also goes through.
He goes through the maximum.
Right.
Because he's also dealing with the outside world. You know, I am not trying to take away from what a mother's role in bringing up a child is, right? Their role is phenomenal.
Yep.
You know, that there are things that a mother can do and only a mother can do. In terms of the challenging part, a man has to go through tremendous hardships in the outside world, right? He goes through humiliation, he goes through
Failures.
he goes through disappointments, he goes through all the possible atrocities that the life can bring upon a man, you know.
The only constraint is they're not taught or trained or expected to express any of
To
that
express
stuff.
that,
To suck it all up.
you have to just keep taking everything in
Right.
and keep it here in the chest.
Right.
When you come back home, you're expected to be like
in
this,
control.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we've all done all our lives. But somewhere down the line, I've started explaining to my kids that, you know, you guys should understand that there's a lot that I go through. It's a lot that I take in. It's not like, you know, I don't feel. So I explained to them that, you know, whenever, you know, all those aches and pains that I feel are all those worries and stresses that I keep absorbing in, right? They start coming out in the form of
Manifesting, yeah.
aches and pains and headaches and this and that. So it is very important for the children to also know and
Yeah,
understand.
particularly you've raised boys. You know, I have a boy and a girl, and I am very particular about this aspect, and that's why I'm pursuing this angle with you. Boys are going to go through a lot of struggles themselves, right? And how do you normalize these experiences
Yeah.
and expressing whatever you're experiencing
Yeah.
in an authentic way?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you are having those conversations with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
boys.
it is very important. They should, I mean, fortunately, both my boys are, by Mahakal's grace, they're extremely sensible. They're so sensible that sometimes even they correct me, you know. They fix me sometimes, you know.
Like what? Like what would they do?
I mean, they would tell me that, if I'm over reacting to something sometimes, or if I'm not going in the right direction in terms of making a decision, they would come and tell me, and they make a lot of sense. Strangely, you know.
Yeah.
They make a lot of sense. So they're very sorted that way. I think that is where I feel that as parents we have been successful to a great extent.
Right.
You know, so at least their mindsets are very sorted.
Yep.
They're very sorted in the head. So that is how we have a lot of conversations. I mean, I have a lot of conversations with them. I mean, the mother also does. Mona also has a lot of conversations with them. I also become a child with them sometimes.
Right.
Because I'm emotional, you know, I express. Like my son was the first time in his entire life, it's the first time he went away for a month because he was, I pushed him to pick up a job as an AD on a film.
It's very good.
I pushed him. I said, Beta, you must, you know, you need to experience the life outside.
Yeah.
And as luck would have it, he picked up this film without telling me. And it was going to be in Lucknow for a month.
Wow. And he was going to be gone for that long for
a
the
month.
first time?
First time. So my heart sank when he told me. And I think somewhere inside of him he was thinking, और बोलो मुझे उठाने के लिए, और बोलो मुझे काम करने के लिए.
फिर देखो
Now
क्या
I'm
होता
going,
है.
now you see
Right.
what you're going to do.
Did you end up in Lucknow?
Yeah, so it was, and I cried, yeah. I mean, I was like, as a parent, my wife and I were crying for so many days, yeah. Every day we were crying. missing him.
Oh my God.
So it's like that,
yeah.
But all is well that ends well. I mean, he
Right.
also settled there after some time. We also settled. But obviously, you can't stop missing a child.
Yeah.
So he just got back like day before yesterday.
Oh,
And we're all
everyone must
now,
be so
yeah.
thrilled
So,
now.
so
Right.
my God, it's such a relief to
I'm
have.
glad
him
we
back.
are doing this now.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You touched on spirituality, and I've also studied your focus on spirituality. How was that sort of an influence of something or somebody? How did you gravitate towards spirituality? And how, again, like you said, you talked about the environment. I'm pretty sure I'm guessing you didn't sort of directly feed that to the children. But how did you first gravitate towards spirituality, and how do you create that environment, this idea?
I think I personally believe that ये प्रारब्ध होता है. It's part of your karmic cycle. My brother and I have brought up in the same house. He doesn't do puja part. He's not into all of that. He's a sort of I would say, a sort of an atheist.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't say that he's fully atheist, but I feel that he's atheist. And although he believes in good karma only,
Sure.
which is his form of. So this, I believe, is a journey that I'm on, maybe from my past life or past few lives, maybe, and I found my true calling as a spiritual person. So it happened to me. I mean, since childhood, I was always very inclined towards our religion,
Fascinating.
to Shiv, to Bajrang Bali, to Mata Rani. And in 2008 or 9, I think I surrendered myself to Mahakal. So
How do you define Mahakal?
Mahakal is a Jyotirling.
I see.
The 12 Jyotirlings that you have,
Right.
Starting from Pashupatinath to Rameshwaram,
Got it.
Somnath, Kedarnath,
Oh, I see.
Mahakal,
Understood. Yeah.
Trambakeshwar,
Of course.
all these they're all Jyotirlings,
Right.
Jyotirlings are called Jyotirlings because they are all Jyoti means light,
Yeah.
right? They are all Jagrat. वो स्वयं शिव उनको माना जाता है, साक्षात शिव, as in
Right.
he is there, right there. They were established by him himself, So they also say scientifically all those Jyotirlings that are placed from there to bottom, those points from the earth, there is a tremendous amount of radiation.
Energy.
That is,
Right.
so, which is why they have the Shivlings on top of that.
Got it.
And उनके ऊपर जो जल चढ़ाया जाता है, जो अभिषेक किया जाता है, has also come from there only.
Got it.
क्योंकि वो जो एनर्जी है उसके ऊपर वो जल चढ़ाया जाता है, keep it calm. And Mahakal is called Mahakal because Mahakal is supposed to be beyond time. Kal as in समय. जो समय के परे है उसको महाकाल कहते हैं. और
It's a very abstract concept, right?
Yeah, it's because he is beyond time.
Right.
Like Shiv is beyond time. Shiv, एक तो वो निराकार है.
Yeah.
There is no shape.
No shape, yeah, no form.
And बड़ी एक मस्त वो है, छोटी सी लाइन वहाँ पे जो उज्जैन में बहुत बोली जाती है, उनके ही उसमें बोली जाती है सेवा में कि अकाल मृत्यु वो मरे जो कर्म करे चंडाल का. अकाल मृत्यु
Yeah,
वो
I got
मरे
it.
जो कर्म करे चांडाल का, काल उसका क्या करे जो भक्त हो महाकाल का.
Beautiful. Right.
So, I mean, he's beyond time, he's beyond time.
How do you get inspiration from this, and how does it? I'm keen on how does it manifest in your work, in your life, who you are as a human being, as a dad.
It coexists with me.
Okay.
It's not a deliberate.
I'm guessing.
I don't
yes.
even have to make an effort to.
Right.
It's just a part of me. It's like I'm breathing.
Yeah.
So it exists in
Right.
in my existence.
Yeah.
So that is how it is. It's a part of me. Whether I pray or not, I remember him. या मुंह से मेरे नाम निकल. Continuous, it's a constant in my
रहता
life.
है, हाँ.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of spirituality as this one connectedness, right? That we are all part of this larger awareness, right? We are all. So my inspiration, the way I take inspiration is that whether we are all humans or animals, everything, we all connect. We are a part of one thing. So that shapes how I do work, how I connect with people, So that's how I get inspirations. I'm guessing, so that's how you take meaning of this connection with Mahakal and interpret this to your day-to-day life, like how you come across, how you treat people, how
See
you...
that how you treat people, जो actions हमारे through होते हैं, उसको कर्म कहते हैं.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
कर्म आता है विचारों से आपके विचार कैसे हैं, अच्छे हैं, बुरे हैं, वही आपके कर्म बन के आपके हाथ से निकलते हैं. अगर मेरे मन में बुरा विचार है तो मैं बुरा कर्म करूंगा. अच्छा विचार है तो मैं अच्छा कर्म करूंगा.
Right.
उससे हमारे कर्म डिसाइड होते हैं, उससे हमारा प्रारब्ध डिसाइड होता है. वही हमारे कार्मिक साइकिल का हिस्सा था. That continues till we reach a time where we achieve moksha, right?
Which is nirvana, basically.
Which is nirvana.
Yeah.
When you're out of this cycle of life and death, right? तो हम लोग सब evolve कर रहे हैं over many lifetimes.
Right.
We're all evolving.
Yeah.
And we're all on a journey. And जो consciousness है, वही है आत्मा.
Yes.
वही आत्मा फिर जाके परमात्मा में मिलती है when you achieve moksha, right? Which is eternal. And soul is eternal.
Yeah.
Atma is eternal.
Yeah.
So we have to, understand that the body, how much ever we love this, attached to this is going to go.
Yep.
But what we are is what we are inside, what
Yes.
we think.
The soul inside, yes.
Our soul, our thoughts, that is our consciousness, right? That is our soul. That is always going to exist. That exists. It has existed
Right.
through so many lifetimes.
So many forms, yes.
Yeah.
Do you meditate?
I don't meditate like आराम कहीं अलग से बैठ के उसके लिए मैं नहीं करता हूँ. But I think I'm again I would say meditate. It's a state of being.
Right.
Even when I'm sitting with you, I am in a
I agree.
slightly meditative state. I'm not so consumed by anything that I forget about my existence. So my existence, to be in touch with my conscience,
Correct.
all that, I am constantly in that state. So I am in a meditative state constantly. It's not like I have to make an effort कि मैं कहीं शांति से बैठूं जाके.
But how did you achieve that, though? That's the part.
It has happened over time, yaar. I think it has happened over time. It has happened over so many realizations, so many journeys
Life
to spiritual
experiences.
places and
Right.
experiences with the Almighty, going to so many places, giving it so many thoughts and thinking about life, thinking about death, thinking about so many other things. I think it becomes a part of you slowly. And the harder the life hits you, the wiser you come out of it. So that is what I think I've become.
I started meditating. I mean, I've always been sort of spiritual. ऐसे ही मेरा, my raising was done with my grandfather. I should do all the pujas and all. But I took it away as a way to always connect with a larger awareness and consciousness, right? But I had never done meditation consciously. And I got diagnosed with ADHD last year.
Oh.
which I've obviously had throughout my life, not knowing. So this is one of the tools that I'm using to kind of calm my brain down, right?
Yeah.
Because
That's all you need
your
to do.
brain's always revving.
Yeah.
But it's been profound, actually, in terms of what you were saying. That sense of being in touch, irrespective of where you are and what is happening. Because I used to be very, very I would always jump into something, right? And to detach yourself and be an observer and looking at it from your inside is, that's why I got curious. How did you achieve that? Because
I've been able to do this now very easily, that I'm involved in something, but I'm also looking at it from outside.
right. That's the dichotomy is very hard to,
Yeah.
because you can't be fully detached because you are doing things.
Yeah. Of course not.
Particularly the profession that you're in.
Yeah.
You have to give everything
Yeah.
to a character.
But you have to be also conscious about it.
You have to be sort of detached about it.
Yeah.
Right. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. I know we have covered a lot of ground, Sudhanshu. I just wanted to sort of start to wind down with a couple of topics, which is health, right? Health, physical health and mental health. This is something that I'm deeply thinking about, particularly for men. I know we talked about men's ability to stay grounded and be in touch with their emotions. But what does your health ritual looks like? Both physical, mental, and spiritual health ritual looks like.
I think it all starts with your mental health. Everything starts with your mental health. मैं हिंदी में सबको ये बात बोलता हूँ कि आपके विचारों की शुद्धता जो है वही आपकी शारीरिक जो आपका जो स्वास्थ्य है उसमें बदलता है. अगर आपके विचार शुद्ध हैं, विचार अच्छे हैं, if your thoughts are nice and pure,
Yep.
if they're clean, when I say clean and nice and pure, it's a very basic requirement of a human being to be able to have thoughts which are happy, which are always meant to do something good, nice, make somebody smile, give somebody a hug, not think bad about anything or anybody.
Right.
You know, don't have, your intentions matter a lot, right? Your
Absolutely.
intention has to be good. You know, if you have good intentions, your mind will always, sort of, and that sort of
Creates that
translates
Right.
into your physical condition also,
Your well-being.
and you start respecting your own self also. This is very important, to respect your own body.
Yep.
Because I think the most basic requirement of anything, of any relationship, is mutual respect, right?
Absolutely.
If you want your body to respect you, you need to respect your body. And if you respect your body will keep you happy. It'll keep you happy, it'll keep you fit, and you'll always feel good about yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you'll feel good about it. You'll smile.
Right.
Okay, I'm looking good.
Yeah.
So all these things are working together. So I feel that, I think sitting down to pray to God, थोड़ा ध्यान लगाना भगवान में, प्रार्थना करना, really makes a lot of difference. It really helps align you spiritually.
Yeah, keep you centered.
Because our religion is not religion the way people define it. It's a religion that is spiritual by nature.
Correct.
We are spirituality. We gave birth to that.
Right.
That's a culture we belong to.
Yep.
Right? Our religion is not the so-called dharma everybody talks
Right.
about, because we
It's
don't
sort
have
of a
one
way of life.
we don't have one book that
Right.
we have the freedom to pray to whoever we
Anything,
want.
yeah.
Right? Whoever you want. You can pray to just Agni, for God's sake. You can pray to Vayu. You can pray to all the 5 elements of the earth. You can pray to Shiv. You can pray to
nature.
Brahma, Vishnu, whoever you want.
Yeah.
माता रानी के 9 रूप हैं, विष्णु के 10 अवतार हैं.
Yeah.
तो किसी को भी आप प्रे कर, तो सो मनी. इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि वो जो 33 करोड़ देवी देवता हैं.
Right.
You have the freedom. We've got a philosophy behind everything. Behind every form, we have a philosophy.
Right.
So there is a lot of freedom, and that makes it very spiritual because there is freedom.
Right. So do some prayers. Whoever you
do
pray.
a lot of prayers. I think it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
It helps you, be calm, composed, grounded. Ward off all negative thoughts and everything.
Right.
So I think it is very good. It helps. So prayers are, I think, very important. Yeah, very, very important.
Did you teach some of this stuff to the boys?
Yeah, they do. I mean, दोनों को पूरी तरह से हनुमान चालीसा याद है, और अभी से नहीं, बहुत पहले से.
अच्छा.
हाँ, so they do their.
They have their own practice.
Yeah, they do their stuff, their prayers, and I have never forced them.
Right.
And I've also grown up to become like this, so I let them to, let them grow up to become.
Yeah.
They do their, share of prayers and everything.
That's beautiful. Yeah, we've been trying to do the same with our kids. We don't force them, but I create some moments in which we all sit and pray.
Yeah.
And whatever they do,
Yeah.
that's 1 minute is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's spiritual. On the physical front, how does your ritual look like?
So I start my day with a protein smoothie in the morning, which I had even today before coming.
Nice.
And I have one meal which is lunch, जिसमें a little bit of rice, dal, one vegetable and some cucumber.
Right.
And then at night I don't eat. I mean, I have my last, whatever I have to eat by 6:37.
You're done.
I'm done.
Right.
So that keeps me going physically. I mean, I follow this.
Got it. And do you do, if I may ask, do you do some rituals on training, strength training?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
I do weight training, which is moderate, not very heavy.
Very intense, yeah.
I do a lot of functional workouts where I train myself in terms of my stamina and endurance. And I do some very tough ones. And I've just started climbing stairs again after a long gap, because I thought I need to burn a little more for some time. So I started climbing stairs. So I do about 140 floors in about 35 minutes.
Wow. How do you do that?
Just climb up, come down the lift, climb up again, come down the lift, climb up again, come down the lift, climb up again.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So a lot of people, I think people get tired in climbing 3-4 floors.
Yeah.
I'm doing 140, so I think I'm doing pretty well, and God is very kind.
That's very good.
Bless me with that kind of stamina and everything. It's
Thank
good. And that's not just that, but I mean, I also go for a walk apart from that. So I do a lot of stuff. Only last 1 month I was not keeping I was keeping a little unwell because there was some muscle tear here and some issues. So I didn't work out much last 1 month, but I've just started again. So I get back very fast because there's muscle memory. So if you keep working out, even if you have a gap, then you get back to it really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Sudhanshu. You've shared a lot of wisdom and a lot of great insights into the journey of life as a dad. Any last thoughts you want to share with our audience, the dads, as they're navigating the ups and downs of life, particularly through the lens of fatherhood?
I think just most important is spend as much time as you can with your kids. Give them as much love and affection as you can, because that stays with them. Even if they don't like it, give it to them.
Right.
You know, they grow up and then they don't like so much cuddling and all
Right.
that, but give it to them, you know. So because it'll stay with them, I know for sure. And give them as much positive atmosphere as you can. Nurture them with hope and positivity. That's all a child needs, because ultimately it is their destiny and
Their work. Yeah.
their work. But give them the best you can.
Thank you so much. Those are really, really powerful words
Thank
and
you.
very thoughtful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Subhasis. Thank you so much.